Hello friends, students, again welcome on e-learning platform of STB. Students, till this time we have discussed about nationalism in India. That is the second chapter of your history book. But this is the beginning of history. That's why I always called it the first chapter of history, nationalism in India. In previous sessions, we have discussed about the role of Gandhiji in freedom struggle of India. How did he experimented satyagraha policy? How did he unfold non-cooperation movement? And how did he unfold civil disobedience movement? Students, you remember that who were the participants of civil disobedience movement? During civil disobedience movement, not only it was decided to boycott or to reject the British goods and British services, but also to reject all the colonial laws, colonial taxes. Several people they participated in civil disobedience movement against of the Britishers, like rich peasants, poor peasants, industrialists, poor workers, women, etc. In today's session, we will discuss on the participation of Dalits and participation of Muslims. Students, I have written it limited participation. Why did I write limited participation? Dalits from around 1930s, they started to call themselves Dalits and Gandhiji called them Harijan. Why did these people call themselves Dalit? Because they thought that their section of society are always depressed, backward only due to the oppression of higher section of Hindu society. Mahatma Gandhi himself accepted that Swaraj would not come until the untouchability would not be eliminated in the society. That's why Gandhiji himself called them Harijan. Harijan means the children of God. He wanted to give them respect in society. That's why he himself did all the jobs, all the odd jobs that are assigned in our so-called society for the Dalits, for the depressed class. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, you must know his name. He was the famous leader and the constitutional framer of India. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, he wanted to uplift the condition of Dalits. That's why in 1930s he organized Dalit Classes Association. Through Dalit Classes Association, he demanded separate electorates. But the demand of separate electorate was not accepted by Gandhiji, and Gandhiji started hunger unto death. Student, why he didn't accept the demand of Dalits? He always wanted the respect and equality of that society. But he didn't accept this demand because he thought that this demand of separate electorate would eliminate that society, did not give their society as equal respect and did not give them equal dignity in the society, and their class will not be integrated with the other sections of society. At last, in September 1932, Pune Pact. Pune Pact was signed between Gandhiji and Ambedkar. And Ambedkar, he left one demand of separate electorate, and it was decided that this Pune Pact, which will be ensured reserved seats in central and provincial legislative councils to the Dalits, but these people were to be voted in general electorates. Although the demand of reserved seats in councils, in central and provincial council, was accepted, but still those people always thought that Congress and Gandhiji not in support of Dalits. They always eliminated their society from the other part of society. That's why I write here limited participation of Dalits. Same thing happened with Muslims. Their participation was also very slow down in civil disobedience movement. Muslims, their demand was demand of reserved seats in the Central Assembly and representation in proportion to population in Muslim dominated provinces that were Punjab and Bengal. Mahatma Gandhi and Muhammad Ali Jinnah ready to negotiate, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah was ready to give up the demand of separate electorate. But in all parties conference that was held in 1928, their demand of reserved seats in the Central Assembly and representation in proportion to population in Punjab and Bengal was strongly opposed by the Hindu Mahasabha, by the leader of Hindu Mahasabha, Mr. M.R. Jaikar. That's why the Muslims thought that Hindus, especially Congress and Gandhiji, they are not ready to give them equal representation. They are not ready to accept their demand, and that's why they couldn't respond to the call for united struggle under civil disobedience movement. They thought that their identity would be submerged under domination of a Hindu majority. Now students, after the discussion on civil disobedience movement, how can I forget the role of revolutionaries? The role of revolutionaries who sacrificed their life for the independence of our country. Revolutionaries, they formed their party in 1928 in Delhi that was named Hindustan Socialist Republican Army. They always said that India could not win the struggle of freedom through the non-violence. That's why we were adopting, or we are going to adopt, the cult of bomb and violence. Their leaders were Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar, Rajguru, Sukhdev, Udham Singh, Rajendra Lahiri. I know students, you must remember their names. Few of them very famous revolutionaries who sacrificed their life. These people, they started to attack on the symbols of British power. They started to attack on British officials, and one by one these people were arrested and hanged. Always Bhagat Singh said that we did not believe, or we did not wish to glorify the cult of bomb and violence, but we want revolution in society. He always called Inqilab Zindabad. Students, in 1942, 8th August 1942, again third mass movement that was started by Gandhiji and known in history as the Quit India movement or Bharat Chodo Andolan. Cripps mission came to India in 1942 during the Second World War. At this time, Britishers wanted 100% support of Congress and Gandhiji. That's why they offered proposal to the Congress leaders. but their proposals were not satisfactory for the Gandhiji and for the Congress. After the failure of Cripps mission, now Gandhiji launched Quit India movement in 8th August 1942 to get freedom. Because during the World War II, that movement was started where Gandhiji asked Indians to do or die, karo or maro. Although this movement was a failure, but it marked the beginning of their final few years in India that decided that Britishers will soon going to leave our nation. Now students, three mass movements of Gandhiji we have discussed in the series of nationalism in India: non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, and Quit India movement. Students, you will agree with me that freedom of a nation is not only the outcome of struggle, wars, and the efforts of leaders, but also cultural symbols played very significant role to create nationalism, or we can say collective belongingness amongst the people. Poetry, paintings, folklores, folk tales played very significant role to create patriotism amongst the people. Students, don't you feel proud when we sing our national song, when we sing our national anthem, or we see our national flag? Don't we get goosebumps? Same feelings were created by such cultural symbols and cultural traditions, which we are going to discuss about. Students, you can see in this slide the portrait of Bharat Mata, that is in two forms. First portrait of Bharat Mata was designed by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. But the portrait of Bharat Mata that is depicted in this picture in form of an ascetic or a saint figure that was created by Abhinandranath Tagore. Bharat Mata is created in form of divinity or ascetic figure. Bharat Mata, we can call it personification of a nation or an allegory of a nation. Different countries of the world, they are having their allegories or mother figures, like Britannica in British Empire, Germania in Germany. Likewise in India, the portrait of Bharat Mata was created by different artists in different times. In contrast of this ascetic figure, in second form, Bharat Mata is depicted in the form of magnificent and mighty form. This shows the power and might of the Bharat Mata. Students, ideas of nationalism also developed through a movement to revive Indian folklores. In late 19th century, India, nationalists began recording folk tales sung by bards. These tales, they believed, gave a true picture of traditional culture. In Bengal, Rabindranath Tagore himself began collecting ballads, nursery rhymes, and myths. In Madras, Natasya Shastri published a massive four-volume collection of Tamil folk tales, the folklores of southern India. In the 1870s, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay wrote Vande Mataram as a hymn to the motherland. Later, it was included in his novel Anand Bhatt and widely sung during the Swadeshi movement in Bengal. And national anthem, you all know, that was written by Rabindranath Tagore. Students, now in this slide you can see evaluation of the national flag. During the Swadeshi movement in Bengal, a tricolor flag, red, green and yellow, was designed. It had 8 lotus representing 8 provinces of British India and a crescent moon representing Hindu and Muslims. But by 1921, Gandhiji had designed the Swaraj flag. It was again a tricolor, red, green, and white, and had a spinning wheel in the center, representing the Gandhian ideal of self help. But in 1947, the red color was replaced by saffron, and the spinning wheel was replaced by the Ashok Chakra. By the end of the 19th century, many Indians began feeling that to instill a sense of pride in the nation, Indian history had to be thought about differently. The British saw Indians as backward and primitive, incapable of governing themselves. That's why, in response, Indians began looking into the past to discover India's great achievements. People wrote about the glorious developments in ancient times when art and architecture, science and mathematics, religion and culture, law and philosophy, crafts and trade had flourished. These nationalist histories urge the readers to take pride in India's great achievements in the past and struggle to change the miserable conditions of life under British rule. At last, students, after discussion on nationalism in India, you have understood the fact that Gandhiji and thousands of freedom fighters, how did they transform the anger of different sections of society into a united, into a freedom struggle.